Hey friends, it's Peggy Hall here with another word about masks. I am not going to let this issue go. Please go back and watch video 1, video 2, and now I have some good news for you if you live in California. There is no law that requires you to wear a mask. There is no California law that requires you to wear a mask in public. And in fact, I have these cards for you that you can take to those places of business, and you can explain to them the legal aspect of why you are not wearing a mask. We talked about the medical aspect of not wearing a mask in my second video, where you explain that you have a medical condition called breathing that prevents you from wearing a mask, and your medical condition is protected by HIPAA law regulations. You do not need to disclose what that is. What I want to share with you today is the law that protects you as a California citizen, and you do not have to wear a mask going into this place of business. I'm going to share my screen, and as I do, friends, would you put in a comment below the situations that you've had where people were asking you to wear a mask in the store? And I want to talk about businesses and why they also are asking you to wear a mask and what you can do about that. This is my website, thehealthyamerican.org. Please go there, and I want you to sign up right here for your free action guide. That is going to help us stay in touch. You will subscribe on the email here, and that way I can send you the latest information, links, resources, and the how-to guide. So I've got how to do things, how to contact your representatives, how to take action. All of that is here. I want to talk to you about the resources. I've got the research, I've got the laws, and I've got letters that you can send, and now about masks. Let's go there. We already know that wearing a mask, if you're healthy, is not a good idea. If you want to wear a mask, that's your choice. What I'm talking about is the government establishing an environment where businesses and schools and neighbors and cities are even asking the citizens to wear a mask. And I want to explain how legally you are protected from doing that. Here's the science if you want to help anybody with the science. And here's what you can do if an employer or a store wants you to wear a mask. I have a video all about it. Here's a sample letter that you can send or that you can use for your talking points. But more importantly than that, that's all the medical. I want to talk about the legal. Okay, here's more medical, lots of links. All of these links show why the face masks don't work for a healthy person to wear one, and how they are actually harmful. So let's talk about the laws. Here are the laws that protect your right to enter any place of business without a mask. And when I say your place, what I mean is, that's probably a typo, and I mean going into any place of business. We talked about the ADA, we talked about the HIPAA. Now let's talk about California. First of all, the California Department of Health does not have a rule that states you must wear a mask in public or in a store. So the businesses that believe that there is a state law requiring that are mistaken. And that's where you come in. You are going to educate them. Here's the link. You can click right through and give this to people. In fact, the California Department of Health says face coverings may increase risk if the users reduce their use of strong defenses, meaning don't touch your face. Think about people that have the mask around their neck, around their chin, and then they put it on their face, and they use the same mask over and over. Friends, in a medical setting, the masks are disposed of between each interaction with a new person. In a sterile environment like a surgical suite, the mask is put on a certain way. You never even touch your face. People are touching their face to readjust the mask. It doesn't make sense. The California Department of Health also says individuals should wear coverings if they feel comfortable doing so. This is the state guidance. This is what the businesses and the cities and the counties think that they're following. You need to educate them. You need to inform them. It also says you may choose to wear a cloth face covering. You may choose. Does that sound like you are required? No. So you need to educate the people on the law. It goes further. Let's look at this law right here. California Civil Code 51. I have a link and you can click through to read the law, and I also have the exact law for you right here. And it states that all persons within the jurisdiction of this state are free. I could just stop right there. All California citizens are free. You wouldn't know it by the overreaching government that we have. And I want you to watch my video all about the separation of the powers of government in California, because you are not going to believe what's going on with this governor. So all persons are free and equal, no matter what their sex, race, color, religion, ancestry, national origin, disability, or medical condition. Medical condition. I have a medical condition just like you do. And this medical condition prevents me from wearing a mask. This medical condition is called breathing. You do not need to prove to anyone your right to breathe. You don't need to. In fact, they need to prove to you why you should obscure your breath, why you should prevent the free flow of oxygen. I would require any place of business or any individual to furnish me with a reputable piece of scientific, a study, a research paper in a reputable journal that has overwhelming, compelling evidence that states a healthy person wearing a mask prevents the spread of a disease or illness. I want to see that medical evidence. And anybody watching here that is refuting this, please show me. I don't want an article in a magazine written by somebody giving you their opinion. That's all well and good. And you can wear a mask if you want to. I want scientific research paper that has overwhelming evidence that healthy people wearing masks prevents the spread of illness. And you're going to say, well, you might be asymptomatic. Asymptomatic means you're not coughing or sneezing. And the illness is only transmitted, it's still a theory, through coughing and sneezing. The masks are intended for people coughing and sneezing, not a healthy person. Now, let me go on. This medical condition cannot be the cause to prevent you to the full and equal accommodations, advantages, facilities, privileges, or services in all business establishments of any kind whatsoever. It's irrefutable. You cannot be denied entry into a place of business, any kind of business establishment, any kind, because of your medical condition. End of story. You don't even need the ADA. You don't even need the Department of Justice. You're going to print this out and you're going to have a conversation with the restaurant manager and the flower store owner and the guy at you're going to send this to Costco, and we have got to inundate them, friends. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Now, businesses, I want to explain something for a moment. And businesses believe that there is a law that requires them to wear a mask and for their patrons to wear a mask. So there's flaw number one. There is no law. Now, some cities have passed laws, and these laws are unlawful. So you need to go to your cities and work on that individually, and I will show you how to do that. The second reason businesses are requiring people to wear a mask is because of liability. What is liability? Liability means that they might be sued by somebody who came in, they think they're going to be sued by somebody who came into their place of business, and a few days later, they got sick, and they're going to say, you know, I went to that flower shop. I went to that ice cream store. I went to that shoe store, and now I'm sick. And I bet I got sick because they weren't wearing masks. The employees weren't wearing masks, and the patrons didn't have a mask on. Therefore, that's where I got sick. I'm going to sue them. This is what these businesses are fearing. They fear that they're going to lose their license, a state license. They're not going to lose a state license. There is no law from the state that says you have to wear a mask. There are guidelines. They're not laws. Please watch my video about what is a law, and you'll understand all about that. And don't worry if you don't know this stuff already. They purposely try to obfuscate, which is to confuse and keep us in the dark about this. So don't worry about it. That's what I'm here for. I've got the links and everything to keep us going with all of that. So talking about liability, let me show you the law about that. A business can be sued for any reason. A business could be sued if you choke on a chicken bone. A business can be sued if you slip and fall on their floor. A business can be sued if you get food poisoning. So businesses have liability issues, and they also have insurance. They have liability insurance against these very things. So that argument that they are afraid of being sued is very weak, but if they want to have the argument, I have the rebuttal. Here you go. And I want to show you Health and Safety Code 120290. This is at thehealthyamerican.org, the website I put together with all of this information so you can have it at your fingertips. This is the law. A statute is a law that was passed by the legislative body. So it's an actual law that was signed by the governor into law. This is if you intentionally transmit an infectious disease. This was designed for people that knew they had hepatitis or HIV or gonorrhea or AIDS, and they willfully tried to harm someone by communicating that disease to them, by giving that disease to them. So people were having lawsuits saying, my ex-boyfriend gave me this disease, and they had to create a law saying you can't just say you got it from that boyfriend. I mean, we have to prove that. So here is what the law states. It says that the defendant is guilty of intentional transmission. This means that they did it on purpose, okay? That means the flower shop owner, on purpose, intentionally, tried to give you this virus for some reason. Also, the defendant has to know that they actually have this disease. So that means someone would be diagnosed or determined or tested that they have this disease, and then they would willfully seek to transmit the disease to a third party. I don't think that's what restaurants and shoe stores and flower shops are trying to do. I highly doubt it. Not only that, but there has to be a specific intent. And this has to be proven in a court of law. So let's say somebody did get this virus after going to your flower shop and they filed a lawsuit. This has to be proven in a court of law that you knew you had this disease, that you intentionally transmitted this with a specific intent to do so. That's highly unlikely. And you would also have to prove that that person did not get the disease by going to the shoe store on the same day or the ice cream shop. So from a legal standpoint, the fact of a business fearing liability doesn't really hold water. Where can you find this info? You can find it at thehealthyamerican.org. I've got it here under resources. I've got it under masks. And then I want to show you what can you do? So what you are going to do is you are going to watch my video about how to fight the oppressive government. I've got all of the letters. I've got information here. Let's do it. Here's where you can find all of the agencies. How to find your area representatives. Here's the Orange County Board of Supervisors, the Department of Health, the California Department of Health. So I want to help you be empowered to take action. So I'm going to wrap up now, friends, and that was my point of this video, was that you actually are protected if you live in California, and I bet there is a law, similar law in your state. And I want you to send me links to these laws, because we need to be empowered to educate and inform our neighbors, our friends, the businesses, our city council, the Board of Supervisors, the media. We need to get this information out there, and I can do it with your help. So please share the video, subscribe, go to the website, and I cannot wait, friends, because I know your goal is like mine. I want to live life fully and freely. And I want you to stand with me for truth and freedom. See you soon, everybody.